about EIA as a tool for decision making. Why EIA considered as decision making tool? Because means the CIA has three terms, that is identified impact, predicted impact, evaluated impact. Means impact should be identified, predicted, evaluated. So the important aspect of impact analysis is, one is area, because this EIA covers the specific area. Area characteristic, one is land use, forest, water resource, metallurgy, socioeconomic characteristics determined from the baseline data which is contained in chapter 3. Second one is resource consumption and water pollution generation, which determine from the process characteristic and which contained in chapter 2 of the EIA report. Now, priority in impact analysis. What type of priority should be there? Suppose in case of mining, hydropower, irrigation, roads, pipeline project, area characteristic in the defining, these are the defining factor and it largely determine the impact. In the industrial project, like partly process technology and partly area characteristic, which determine the impact of the area. So how the impact should be identified, or the characteristic of the impact should be type of, on which parameters. So parameters are type, nature, magnitude, timing, duration, significance. And if we say the type of impact, which type of, positive or negative, simply we can say negative means adverse. Nature type of parameter, then the description, that is direct or indirect or cumulative. Magnitude, in terms of magnitude, low, moderate and high. For timing of any impact, short term, long term, intermittent or continuous. Then last means significance of that, means local, regional or local, or global, means on like climate change, that is global significance of impact. Duration, temporary or permanent. So now impact identification. For impact identification, we have to assess in terms of air, water, land, plant, animal, human health, social, economic and cultural. The prediction, how we can predict actually the impact. The criteria is professional judgment, that is expert judgment, we can say. Quantitative mathematical model, means some models like there, like Leopold model and all. Some experiment physical model, and comparison with the similar project. Like suppose we have a thermal power project to establish in any area, for new area. So we have to assess a similar type of project which is already going on. So we can assess the impact of that industry for next 25 years. Impact evaluation, criteria for evaluating and the significance of impact should be set in advance, because EIA is a plan. Evaluation should be based on the local standard, wherever possible. And where local standards are not available, then we can go for WHO or any other standards like US EPA. So we can set a criteria for that. So there is brief criteria for predicting the significance of impact in terms of one biodiversity. Taking for example of biodiversity, criteria is disturbance to the wildlife movement. Then we can think, is it significant or not? If a disturbance is there, then it is very significant. So we have to think over this attribute, disturbance of the wildlife movement in that area, like mining or something, or river valley project or irrigation. Then where roadway, railways, where large area involved. Second one, disturbance of breeding or nesting sites of the birds and animal. Of course, this is also significant. We have to think about, suppose if we are establishing an jetty project, then we have to think the marine area, the area which is in question for the turtle nesting or some other breeding sites. So that is significant. We have to protect them. Then disturbance to the rare or endangered species. That is, significance of impact is very significant, where any disturbance of rare or any umbrella species or endangered species is there. And the criteria is project source water from the water body, a surface or any groundwater. If we are taking the water from the ground, or we are taking from the any surface area, any river body, that means this is also significant area. Then we have to think about risk of flooding, invasion, forest, wildlife sanctuary. If any wildlife sanctuary, biosphere reserve coming in 10 kilometer radius of that from that project, then we have to think that is conservation plans should be there. That area is significant. And one more important area is project involve blocking or diversion of any type of source of wildlife in the wildlife area. That means because that surface area, that water or the water body has is used by some other wildlife animals. So we have to think about this, that this area is also significant.